This channel and its videos are intended for general audience. Stuck on the Sodor Suspension Bridge. The Sodor Suspension Bridge is a gigantic bridge. It crosses a deep valley and the engines love going across, but it can be dangerous for the engines while the winds on the sea blow so hard they can nearly knock the trains off the track. One day, Edward was taking some troublesome trucks across the bridge. The trucks held him back, causing Edward to slow. Just as Edward reached the middle of the bridge, a gale blew and derailed some of the trucks. Edward came to a halt. His driver looked back. "Luckily the trucks didn't block the other lines, but I'm going to set out warning flags and warn the signalman," he told the fireman. Edward was worried as he watched his driver walk to the next signal box. A few hours later, Edward heard Thomas with Rocky the crane. "Be careful, Rocky. The winds are very strong," puffed Edward. Thomas shunted Rocky into position, and Rocky went to work. It was very difficult for Rocky to lift the trucks back on the rails, but after a while, Rocky lifted nearly all the trucks back on the track. Rocky was shunted to get the last truck, but as Rocky was chained up and started lifting, a gust of wind blew, and Rocky flung the truck over the cables, and it was dangling dangerously over the edge. Edward left with the rest of his trucks. The two were scared with every creak and groan of the bridge. Finally, Edward arrived with the breakdown train, and the cranes pulled Rocky back onto the rails. Sir Topham Hatt was on board. "Looks like here, Rocky. You need to be mindful about winds on high bridges." "Yes, sir," said Rocky quietly. Thomas shunted Rocky, and Edward took the breakdown train back to the yards. As Thomas and Rocky arrived back at the yard, Rocky felt very relieved. "I hope I never have to rescue anything from that bridge ever again." Until a few days later, Boko was hauling a heavy goods train. He was on one end of the bridge until he saw a broken track. Boko's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. Boko jumped the rails and crashed into the suspending cables. He dangled dangerously over the edge. The guard and the brakeman ran as fast as he could to a nearby church and rang the alarm. Rocky was sleeping in the yard until Thomas raced in. "Emergency! Emergency!" called Thomas as he backed down onto the giant crane. "Whoa! What's happened?" asked Rocky. "Boko has derailed at the suspension bridge." Rocky was still recovering from the accident earlier on. "No, Thomas, I won't go. Take Judy and Jerome," he said. "There's no time for debate. You are the only crane to lift Boko," Thomas puffed and pulled Rocky away. Thomas thundered along the tracks. Thomas and Rocky arrived at the bridge. Edward was coupled up to Boko to hold him. "You can do it, Rocky," puffed Edward, and the engines whistled to encourage him. The winds blew fierce as Rocky slowly positioned his crane arm. The chains were fastened and Rocky lifted very slowly. The wind picked up, and Rocky felt the force trying to push him over. Suddenly, Rocky stopped. "Why have you stopped?" asked Boko. "I have to wait for the winds to die down," said the crane, and they finally did. Rocky finally lifted Boko back on the rails. Boko was relieved. "Oh, thank goodness, Rocky, you are a hero," he rumbled. Rocky was proud as he put Boko's train back on the rails. After Boko was checked over, he rolled away with his train as Edward pushed from behind, and Thomas and Rocky headed back to Knapford Station. Thomas was proud. "Well done, Rocky. Being brave isn't the same as not being scared. Being brave is about what you do, even when you do feel scared. And Rocky, you were very brave today." Sir Top Hat walked up. "Well done, Rocky. You are a very useful crane through your act of bravery and heroism. You will get a new coat of paint." Rocky just beamed. "I've never had a new coat of paint before," he said, and they all laughed, and Rocky was excited.